Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of your Brains Coach podcast. My name is Angela Shurina. I'm your host, I'm your Brains Coach, and it is my job here to bring to you all the best, recent, cutting edge, most effective, and useful brain body tools so you can take better control of your brain, this most sophisticated machine in the entire universe, so you could make better decisions, take more consistent action towards your goals, towards your dreams, so you could feel, look, and do your absolute best. This Monday morning, while in the dark preparing for recording of this podcast, I was thinking to myself, why is that I do all of my work? This is, by the way, a fundamental question that you need to ask yourself more often if you want to maintain high level of motivation, of resilience, of energy. If you want to go through challenges and stressful situations empowered, and so it doesn't affect you negatively, you can understand your deeper reason why you do things. And asking yourself this question simply, why do I do the things? Why is it important to me? Asking it often will help you to build that connection, this highway almost to your life's purpose, your life's mission, that's gonna get you through so many challenging and tough and not so fun moments into towards your dreams, towards your goals, keeping your smile, your positive outlook on the world intact. So I asked myself, why do you do these things? And yes, there are quite a few not so much goals, but meanings. Like, I want to feel useful. I want to help people like myself, other entrepreneurs, to struggle less and achieve more success, to struggle less than I did with having all the tools to thrive and to feel amazing while building our dreams and goals and improving the world, changing the world for the better, right? I want to help other entrepreneurs, yes, but also I was thinking to myself, I also want to make myself proud. Like, I want to look at my life's journey and be like content and proud with the things that I did, achievements, and the impact I created in the world. And so for me, it's important to understand that this is important to me. And that's why I wake up every morning, and that's why I keep doing the work, even though I don't always see positive results. And a lot of it is, challenging and uncertain. And a lot of it has to do with failing a lot before you can succeed. But I still do it because at the end of the day, I want to look back at my life and maybe I haven't succeeded at everything, but I'm proud at what I did, at what I achieved. So this morning, first and foremost, as we talked in the Empowered Mind Toolkit for Entrepreneurs last, I believe it was Wednesday, think about this question. Ask yourself that question, because the answer, understanding your drivers, your values, is really, really important and crucial, especially if you are someone who call themselves change maker, builder, not satisfied with status quo and committed to changing things better and creating positive change and difference and impact in the world. So why do you do things that you do? Think about that. And make it a practice every day, every other day. Just ask yourself that question. And the more you ask it, and the more you reflect on the answer, and the more you feel into the answer, the sort of stronger and more like a highway this connection becomes. And it's going to become easier and easier for you to feel that connection. The more you ask, the more you practice asking yourself this question and truly thinking about that, answering and feeling it inside what I believe your heart, your soul. So now back to the topic of our podcast today, the body, physical toolkit, the lifestyle toolkit for you to feel great as an entrepreneur every day, so you could get after it, get after your goals, your vision, achieve success, achieve results, feeling great at the same time. When I talk about lifestyle toolkit, the goal for the toolkit is to help you have high energy, mental and physical, to have high motivation, optimism, confidence necessary for you as a change maker, as an entrepreneur, as an impactpreneur, to get into the world and create the change that you see in your head. High stress, challenge, failure, resilience. If it was easy, as the saying goes, everybody would do it. So you got to understand that things will be challenging more often than they will not be, that they won't. And you have to have this resilience, or in other words, ability to bounce back to balance, to bounce back to your baseline as fast as possible, no matter what you go through in your day, to bounce back and get into action, positive, optimism-oriented mindset, so you could take powerful actions to have the biggest opportunity and chance to change things into positive direction, to turn things around. So high energy, physical and mental, high motivation, high optimism, high confidence, high stress, challenge, failure, resilience. This is what you get when you follow the simple guidelines that I've developed going through a lot of certifications in health and recovery for people and for professional athletes, working with entrepreneurs, with business owners, learning indirectly from great entrepreneurs like Alex Hormozy or Russell Brunson or Tony Robbins or Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos, really listening and reading about them, what they have to say, reading their biographies or autobiographies or what they've written, and really tuning into and seeing what other people might miss, but seeing that this is actually why they keep going, and why so many other entrepreneurs with great ideas and great ambitions quit. And last Friday we did this walk to the mountain with other entrepreneurs, founders, and we were talking with Adrian, one of the founders there, and I shared with him this phrase that I use often these days: companies don't fail, people do. More specifically, people decide to quit. And that's why there is a much higher rate of failure between entrepreneurs, between founders. Not because they're not capable, but because they don't have the tools to manage themselves. They don't practice these tools. They don't realize how much of a difference it makes a long term between you that keeps going and eventually succeeds, and you that fails and switches to something else. So having these tools, having this lifestyle entrepreneur toolkit will allow you to go as long as needed while achieving milestones here and there and going through challenges, going through a lot of stressors. Keep going until you succeed beyond what you have imagined, building the exact or usually even better vision than you expected. So this toolkit, again, will allow you to have this high energy, motivation, and confidence and resilience to keep going until it's done. And without it, not practicing it, most entrepreneurs try hard things and they quit because they feel like they just don't have the resources. And then the rest of the stuff, comes up, like it's not worth it, the market is not ready, the idea is not that great. But, all of this can be addressed when you are in a great state, mentally, emotionally, and physically. Last week, we covered emotional resilience, mental resilience. We covered Empowered Mind Toolkit. That's when we talked about our motivations, and that's when we talked about our emotional resilience and how to keep your spirits high, so to speak. Today, it's all about the body, and the body is the foundation for an optimistic, confident, energy mind. This is kind of like the work behind the scenes that makes everything else more powerful and more lasting and gives you a more solid chance to succeed. So first, let's address this question that I often get. How do I know if I'm not doing enough of the right thing? And here is what I learned from other researchers and having worked with more than 100 entrepreneurs by this time. This is when you know you need to put more time and attention into your self-care. You can't keep going without stimulants. Like you always feel you need coffee, you need nicotine, you need something to keep you going. Otherwise, you just collapse and won't be able to do much. You get sick quite often. You are more lower on energy, especially without stimulants, than you're higher on energy. So you need this, push to even feel normal. You become more cynical, not kind. Everything seems darker and worse, and you find yourself often asking yourself this question: is this all there is? Like, the world sucks, people are not that great. Like, if you get into this negative state of mind, you need to take care of yourself. It's not that the world changed or people changed, it's you who are not taking care of yourself. And the negative mental state, almost going into depression, that's the sign that you need to chill out and take care of yourself. You don't sleep well, you wake up very often, and you just can't fall asleep, and you wake up early, and you just don't have good quality of sleep because you just can't. Your mind keep racing and you keep waking up. You can't relax and laugh at things. You can't chill. You just always on and always stressed, like you feel this tension all the time and you can't let it go. You are in pain physically. You start developing pains in different parts of your body. You use lots of different substances to just keep yourself going, to keep yourself waking up and working on things, from caffeine to alcohol to chill to nicotine to food. Like, people develop different substance dependencies depending on what exactly you're trying to do. Some people, again, use alcohol and food to just chill and relax. Some people use a lot more caffeine and nicotine and other drugs to stimulate their mind. So all of these reasons, all of this science will tell you that you need to take better care of yourself. And speaking of taking better care of yourself, it's not that complex. Let me take a sip of water. Speaking of sip of water, hydrate. That does a lot for your health and your mental state and your optimism and your ability to perform. Your brain, even 2% dehydration, as they say, will cause cognitive impairment. But not only that, it will cause emotional impairment. You're just not going to feel that good when you are constantly dehydrated. So let's get back to the toolkit. What's the minimum? It's not even that much, but it has to be consistent. And what I'm about to share with you, it's the minimum effective dose of self-care for you as a human being. And why do I go to minimum? Because we are entrepreneurs. We are purpose, mission-driven folks. We want to get things done. And so we are here not to maximize self-care. We are here to get enough of it done so we can keep going, keep ourselves happy and healthy. So we could pursue our goal, feeling great, not burning out, and have great goals, great achievements, and at the same time feeling like we have great quality of life, but not overdoing it, right? So this is the 80-20. This is what you have to do, not what you do sometimes, but what you absolutely have to do consistently to keep going as long as needed, even if it's your entire life. Number one, sleep on the same schedule. Schedule 8 hours when you are in bed. This is the absolute minimum, and on the same schedule. Why on the same schedule is so important? Because your brain optimizes everything, and when you go to bed on the same time, certain hormones like melatonin, certain other substances are released or stop being released, like adrenaline or cortisol cycle throughout the day. All of this gets synchronized with your sleep-wake cycle, and you sleep better. The quality of your sleep gets better. If the schedule, your sleep schedule, is all over the place, this synchrony is going to be all over the place, and your brain and your body will be desynchronized. And there is more and more research on that. Your sleep-wake cycle will become desynchronized. Your master clock, you literally have certain organelles or parts of your cells that track the time, that synchronize themselves with your master clock in your brain to work better together. Now, all of that gets dysregulated. First of all, if your sleep cycle is all over the place, and then your eating cycle all over the place, and then you don't feel late at any time, barely getting outside. So all of that contributes to you not having synchrony, and because of that, worse quality of sleep, and because of that, worse quality of pretty much everything else, from the quality of your decisions, your creativity, to your energy levels. Everything gets worse. So sleep on the same schedule. Put it in your schedule, 8 hours on the same time, whatever time works for you, and keep it there. This is absolute minimum. This is where you have to start. And then obviously, don't drink caffeine 10 hours before your bedtime. View sunlight in the morning when it's around sunrise time. The environment where you sleep has to be super dark, cool and quiet. If you don't have control of the environment all that much, then get a sleeping mask, get the earplugs. But same schedule, dark, cool and quiet. You cannot be hot because the quality of your sleep gonna get worse. So all of this still works. This is your sleep toolkit. If you need more advice, please reach out. I'm gonna direct you to other resources, to the resources that I have, so you understand how your sleep works and how you can make it more effective. But 8 hours, put it in your schedule on the same time. This is very important. This is the essential step number 1 of self-care. Now, the second thing is 1 hour of self-care, not self-care, but uninterrupted emptiness or free time. 1 hour that I break out into 3 time periods that you do in the morning, in the afternoon, and at night. 1 hour a day you spend on nothing but on recovery processes. Like in the morning, you go for a 20-minute walk. Why is that important? Because viewing sun is important for your sleep, to synchronize all of the physical processes and mental processes in your body and brain. So get this 20 minutes to not just view the light, but also have uninterrupted time for your mind, when you just think about where are you moving, where are you going, and think about things that are bigger than yourself, like your nature, the world, family. Just allow your mind to just be, and also spend some time in the morning also on gratitude, like grateful for what you already have, for where you are in life, just feeling good. And that sunlight also, go for a walk, view that sunlight in the first couple of hours of sunrise, so you set your circadian rhythm right, so you sleep well and everything goes well with your health, right? So 20 minutes in the morning, just walk, spend it uninterrupted in quietness of your mind. Believe me, it's based on a lot of research, on a lot of great practices, so give yourself the time to be unoccupied and view the light. So we're already multitasking here. 20 minutes in the afternoon. Take it for a nap, take it for a meditation. Your brain cannot work 24, well, not 24, but even 12 hours, even 6 hours. Your brain cannot work without breaks. So in the middle of the day, when you feel that a little bit slow down, or some people call it slump, whatever that is, if you take a nap, if you meditate, if you connect with nature, the second part of your day, first of all, you're gonna lower stress dramatically when you take it for the right kind of breaks, connection with nature, walking, or meditating, or especially things like yoga nidra that restore a lot of this neurochemistry that you need to stay productive. Napping increases your 20-minute nap increases your performance. That's been measured by 34% at least, right? They measured this at NASA. So 20-minute break take it. You need it, especially if you are aiming at higher, hard goals that require good thinking. Good thinking does not happen in a tired mind. You need that midday break. And then at the end of your day, 20 minutes, spend it on gratitude, on journaling, on taking a long freaking shower. You wouldn't believe how relaxing that actually is. Listening to some chill music, preparing yourself for bed, for that scheduled 8-hour in bed. Take those 20 minutes. They're going to do wonders for the quality of your sleep and the quality of your mind. That will define the quality of your life, right? So take that hour of uninterrupted times and recovery in the morning, in the middle of the day, at the end of the day. If you need more information, again, reach out, Angela@brainbreakthroughcoach.com. I'm going to give you the whole protocol, but just remember, you need that uninterrupted time to function at your top capacity. And as entrepreneur, change maker, leader, you need to be at your top capacity, not just mediocrity. Mediocre performance and state will produce mediocre results, no matter how much of it you do. Excellence does not come from being tired and fatigued all the time. Just understand this and remember, nobody got themselves to excellence being exhausted all the time. Number 3, 3 meals a day when you just eat without work. 3 meals a day. Spend at least 20 minutes on each meal. That's additional hour. If you cook. If you don't cook, order something on a healthier side. That means a lot of protein, prioritize protein, 30-40 grams per meal, and have chicken, have fish, have meat, have shrimp, whatever that is, and a lot of fruit and vegetables. A lot of fruit and vegetables. The recommendation is 800 grams per day of fruit and vegetables combined. At least more is great, but at least that. A lot of fruit and vegetables, because those contain fiber, additional water, additional vitamin and minerals, and high activity, high performance require a lot of nutrients first, and then a lot of protection for your brain. When your brain works hard, it creates a lot of reactive oxygen species. Those are things that can damage your brain if not addressed with antioxidants and other substances and molecules that protect your brain. And those you get from things like antioxidants in your fruit and vegetables, and then also additional vitamins and minerals that your brain needs, like things like magnesium, also omega-3s. That's why supplement with your fish oil. If you have any questions about what you just heard, if you're not sure what multivitamin to take and you need that, as an entrepreneur, any high-performing person needs to supplement, or anyone who is interested in vibrant health and living their full potential, you need to supplement on top of healthier food, meals and diet, at least the basics. Keep your meals on a healthier side as much as possible. Fruit and vegetables and protein also has to be on point. Not just one egg or some protein. It has to be on point, whether you get a protein shake, whether you get it all in food, figure it out. But 3 meals a day, at least 20 minutes per each meal without your laptop. And believe me, folks, you need this. Then 20-minute walk we already discussed in the morning. Look at nature, think about your goals, think about the why that we talked about in the beginning. It will do wonders for your mental, emotional state, and just the state of feeling connected to something bigger of yourself than yourself, and then connection to your purpose, to your vision, to your mission, to something that has meaning. Like your life is so much more than just, getting things done and crossing off things from your to-do list. This 20-minute walk in the morning will allow you to be and feel and do so much more long-term. Today's toolkit is all about long-term. If you don't do it today, especially if you're young, especially if you are below age 30 or 35, you might not feel the negative consequences of all of that. But then all of a sudden, if you don't do that, if you compromise this, eventually it will cause burnout, and a strong one where you'll have to quit whatever it is you do, and you'll have to take a lot of time off to recover. For that not to happen, you gotta stick to daily minimum that I'm talking about today. So 20-minute walk, 30 minutes of exercise. In addition to that walk, 30 minutes of exercise. That can be yoga, that can be a workout with an app at home, that can be something outside in the outside gym, that can be cardio, that can be weights. A great way to go is have a combination of cardio workouts that train your heart, your lungs, that pump your blood faster, that make you sweat. So a combination of that and resistant workouts, or basically workouts more with your muscles, with your strengths, when you lift weights, when you work with your body weight, something that doesn't necessarily make you sweat all that much, but trains your strengths. That, and also mobility, flexibility, chill out workouts, like at least once a week, do something like yoga. And there are plenty of classes and YouTube videos and apps. There are apps that will create this balance program for you. If you don't know what are they, then please reach out, and I'm going to give you recommendations, and then you can follow the program that the app gives you, this balance program. You can purchase some weights for home, and so that 30-minute workout can literally be done in your underwear at home, not spending additional time at all. So 30-minute workout, first of all, it's going to change your mind quite literally. Physically, it's going to rewire your brain. It's going to create certain neurochemistry that is going to support your goals. It's going to increase and improve your dopamine circulation in the brain, the one that keeps you energized, motivated, and feeling like getting after things. It will improve the production of serotonin and endorphins. Basically, it's going to make you feel and do good, and it's also going to make you sleep better and your digestion better, and your ideas going to get better. Your brain will start working better. Your stress resilience will grow. So many amazing and great things happen when you exercise. One of the top doctors in the US, Peter Attia, check out his book Outlive. In his book, he shares this idea that if he was to prescribe one thing that's going to improve all aspects of your health, of your performance, of your mental and emotional well-being, then that would be exercise. Nothing beats exercise when it comes to positive effects on all aspects of your health, performance, and mental emotional well-being. So 30 minutes of exercise, and that 30 minutes, most of the time it has to be challenging. It's not like, if you can't do anything, add additional walk, but I recommend do something challenging. And it doesn't mean like the most challenging workout out there. It means slightly challenging for you to train your muscles. And by the way, your muscle mass, your bone density, it will define your health in later years when you're still probably going to be going after things. It will help you to keep your muscle mass, your bone density, and that will prevent so many negative possible health outcomes. So keep your muscle on, keep your heart pumping, keep your bones strong by exercise, and down the road you're just going to be so much more powerful, resilient, and also happy. So 30 minutes of exercise. Let's see, when it comes to work, one side thing I wanted to share with you. What neuroscience tells us is our brain works in cycles. 90 minutes, that is a work cycle for your brain. It also happens to be a sleep cycle. So every 90 minutes, you're going to have your focus, you're going to have your high productivity. But then after 90 minutes, and usually it's not even that steady, like you will have some time when you're getting into stronger focus, and then you really focus, and then not so much. But 90 minutes is a good cycle of work to shoot for, to keep your brain focused, after which you need to take a short break. So every 90 minutes, I actually advise my clients to design your work day into 90-minute cycle. And in that cycle, include a break. That can be a meditation, that can be leaning leaning back and just staring into the ceiling. This staring into the ceiling is recommended by Steven Kotler, one of the top researchers of flow state, of peak and high performance, even though flow state is a little bit different, but it's not about that. So he says that flow state is very resource demanding, and that's why you do need to take breaks. And he does recommend wall staring, or I like to say just lean back and stare into the ceiling where there is absolutely nothing. And this also actually very recovering for your brain. It helps to recover certain neurotransmitters, helps to relax neurocircuits, and help you to also restore some of the neurotransmitters or those messenger molecules in your brain like dopamine that keep you focused, keep you going, keep you working. So take a 10-minute break. You can also nap. You can also go for a short walk, especially in nature. It's going to be super restorative. You can look at a picture with nature. Also, by the way, green colors seem to be very restoring, and blue color, those nature colors that we see when we look at something green and blue sky, they are actually very restorative, just as colors also for your brain. But every 90 minutes, that's what I recommend to all of my clients. Take breaks. That's what neuroscience tells us. Every 90 minutes, your brain does need to take a break. How long? Depending probably on how hard you work. It's kind of like with a workout. If you went really intense, you probably need a longer brain than if you just kind of was cruising around. So the same with breaks, but every 90 minutes, take a break, and that will help you to work better and harder throughout the day. And of course, I mentioned the 20-minute break, a longer break in the middle of the day, but every 90 minutes, realize that your brain works in cycle, and every 90 minutes, it seems to need a break. So in that 90-minute cycle of work, I always recommend my client to include 10 minutes when you are on a break without social media, nothing, just stare into the ceiling, go for a walk, take an effortless nap, whatever that might be. Take a snack, listen to some beautiful music, and then get back to whatever you are doing. And then the last but not least, 3 more things that are crucial, essential for your recovery, for your good sleep, for your high work ethic and your high productivity throughout the day. Number 1, caffeine. Watch it. Don't overconsume it. It will make your performance worse when you overdo it. Also, Steven Kotler and Flow Research Collective, he says, his research in his lab confirms that caffeine can improve your performance, but up to the point. You want to get to the sweet spot, and it's kind of different for everyone, but you definitely don't want to overdo it, and you definitely don't want to consume too much too late. You gotta stop at what science tells us 10 hours before sleep. So your sleep is not effective, and because your sleep is your best recovery, and that is not questionable. Nobody doubts that sleep is the most important recovery part. Caffeine can disrupt that. That's why you need to stop it early and don't overdo it in general, because if you overdo your caffeine, it can create more anxiety, it can keep you jittery, it can keep you pumped, but not being able to accomplish much, and definitely not doing deep thinking. So caffeine, don't overdo it. Don't do it too late, meaning 10 hours before sleep, stop it. And by the way, other drinks like black tea, green tea, super dark chocolate also have caffeine, and also so do many energy drinks and energy bars, etc. So make sure you don't consume caffeine in other stuff too. Don't eat too late. That means finish your food 2-3 hours before sleep. That is, if you want to have great sleep, and you do want to have great sleep, if you want to have great productivity and performance day after day after day. I was watching through some social media the other day, and Mark Manson, he's best-selling author, blogger, does a lot of cool and interesting things. One of his books, the art of not giving a fuck, or something like that. But it's all about how to achieve your goals without burning out and without making yourself crazy. So on his social media, he shared how the best morning routine is the best night routine. When you eat earlier 2-3 hours before your bedtime, when you don't scroll before bed, when you watch the light exposure before sleep, when you when you go through some gratitude exercises, when you chill, when you go to bed peacefully and happy and without food in your stomach for the past 2-3 hours. And that's the best morning routine. That's when you wake up feeling refreshed. Of course, if you give yourself enough time for good quality sleep, feeling refreshed, unstoppable, motivated, ready to go. So the best morning routine is actually the best sleep and the best night routine before sleep. And part of that routine is having your last meal 2-3 hours, best 3 hours. That's what I noticed in practice. 3 hours before bed, finish your food. After that, drink water, drink herbal teas. That is very important for the quality of your sleep because food changes. First of all, food keeps you alert and awake and your digestive system keeps working, plus it changes your things like blood sugar. That is very important for the quality of your sleep, and a lot of other, also body temperature, very important for quality of your sleep, and your core temperature changes when you have food digesting in your stomach. So don't have your meals later. And the last but definitely not least, again, and let me take a sip of water for that, keep yourself hydrated. Even mild dehydration, and the one that you won't notice, even that will cause cognitive impairments, poor decision making, poor mental emotional states. And we don't want that if we want to be high energy, high spirits, and high stress resilience. We don't want to compromise our performance in any way, and hydration is one of those things that are very important for your performance and the quality of your spirit. How much water do you drink? What Andrew Huberman, a famous neuroscientist from Stanford, shared with us based on the research and the research interviews that he did. A glass of water, or about that, per every hour that you are awake, first 10 hours of waking time. What I do to simplify it, I'm like, okay, 10 hours, that means 2.5 liters. So that means a glass every hour or half a liter every couple of hours. And so I divided my 10 hours in 5 chunks, and each of those chunks, every 2 hours, I drink half a liter. If I forget or don't sip my water during that time, and I always have a liter of water, so I have to drink half of that every couple of hours. And so if I'm, for example, haven't finished my water at 12, then I'm gonna go and finish it in one big gulp. That's how I make it simple. I have this 1 liter bottle and I have to finish 2.5 of them. And that's how I keep my hydration on science, but also very simple. And that's it. This is your lifestyle entrepreneur lifestyle toolkit for high energy, mental and physical, high motivation, optimism, and confidence every day. So high spirits, right? High energy, high spirits, and high stress, resilience, high tolerance of stress. And so you approach every stressor as a challenge. So this is what you do every day, your non-negotiables, to maintain that as long as needed. So you can go as long as needed after the challenge that you set yourself up for. And so you succeed instead of quitting. Again, companies don't fail, people do. And what happens to entrepreneurs who don't have this toolkit and who don't develop the skills of self-care? What happens to entrepreneurs? At some point, their brain will change your self-talk and your mental emotional state in a way that will make you quit. And you'd think, and then the brain creates stories. Well, that was because bad time in economy. That was because Your brain will create stories to justify that. But the main story there, you didn't take care of yourself, and your brain decided it's time to quit. That's the end of story. And if you look at or talk to entrepreneurs who quit on their journey, that's exactly what happens. They just pushed too hard, they didn't take care of themselves, and eventually their brain took them out push the red button, the abort the mission button, otherwise you may not survive. That's exactly what happens, and it happens on a subconscious level. The brain never consults you before making these decisions, so your best bet is to take care of yourself, to make sure that you have the support system internally that will carry you through anything and indefinitely. Remember, life and a mission is not a sprint, it's a marathon. And even if sometimes you have to sprint, but you gotta make sure that you recover. Just like an elite sprinter, you sprint, you recover, and your recovery is proportional to your sprinting. You cannot just sprint. You need to sprint and then recover a lot. And be very careful when sprinting so you don't overextend it. Otherwise, you like one of those horses, just push yourself to almost death state. And after that state, it's going to be very, very hard for you to recover mentally, emotionally, spiritually, energetically on all levels. So make sure you fill your cup. Again, it's a marathon, not a sprint. And that's about it. Don't forget that last week we did an episode on Empowered Mind Toolkit for Entrepreneurs. That was all about your mental state, how to maintain high spirits, high motivation, practices to do in the morning, in the afternoon, at the end of the day, emotional fitness, emotional resilience, all of that, the self-talk tools, the journaling tools, all of that specifically designed for you as an entrepreneur. They're all in the last episode that has Empowered Mind Toolkit in the title. So search for that if you'd like to dig deeper into the mindset and emotional fitness. Today we covered the physical fitness that is the foundation for everything else. Your mental and emotional fitness and things done powerfully and long term, not just short term. So this is the foundation, your physical toolkit, your self-care, your lifestyle toolkit. If you have any questions, if you need more resources on anything that you heard on today's podcast, please reach out. Angela at brainbreakthroughcoach.com. By the way, next week we are starting our Unstoppable Entrepreneur 12-week training. The link to apply is in the show notes. We have a few spots left. Please do apply if you'd like to master all of these toolkits, not by yourself, but in a group of other motivated, mission-driven, purpose-driven entrepreneurs with me guiding your journey, giving you a lot of exercises, a lot of accountability, a lot of support, a lot of details. There is so much cool stuff. Check out the link, invite your friends. It's very affordable at the moment. It's not gonna last forever, just another week, and we have just a few spots left. So check it out, bring friends. If you want to, if you need to dial in your game to keep going strong forever or as long as needed to achieve your goal, this is where you want to be. Unstoppable Entrepreneur Blueprint. Check it out in the show notes. Reach out if you need more information on any of the toolkits, and have a powerful Monday. Don't just get things done, take care of yourself as well. And on that note, I'll talk to you very soon. Have a powerful Monday and this week.